When the gentle CEO in a romance novel was about to jump from a skyscraper, I stopped him, my hand on my pregnant belly. "Mr. Eckert, before you die, could you do me a favor and sign the consent form for my abortion? I'm carrying your child." He stared at me, his mind finally recalling a night months ago. He spent a wild night with a stranger. That stranger was me. The moment I realized I was just a background character in a CEO romance novel was the exact moment the story's tragic hero, Owen Eckert, was standing on the rooftop of his 66-story building, ready to jump. He was heartbroken, publicly humiliated at his own engagement party when the female lead left him for another man. None of this should have been my problem. As an insignificant character, my only role in this entire saga was a single, fleeting night with him months ago. But just a few minutes ago, I discovered I was pregnant. The test showed 2 solid lines. Carrying a billionaire's baby. If I did nothing, I'd be wasting the opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to completely change my fate. He wanted to die, but I wanted to secure my future through this child. So, for now, death would have to wait. Just as he lifted 1 foot over the ledge, I burst onto the rooftop and shouted, "Wait a minute." Owen turned, his brow furrowed in confusion. "If this is about your salary, don't worry. The company will continue to pay all its employees after I'm gone." He closed his eyes, ready to take the final leap and end his unloved existence. I glanced down at my hotel staff uniform and realized he'd misunderstood. This hotel was one of his assets. He probably thought I was worried about my next paycheck. With seconds to spare, I yelled again, "Mr. Eckert, don't jump." What I meant was, before you die, could you sign my abortion papers? I'm pregnant with your child, but I'm an orphan, and the hospital won't let me sign the consent form myself. To sell the performance, I put on my most pitiful, helpless expression. I'd heard he was a man with an overwhelming sense of responsibility. I couldn't believe he'd still jump after hearing he had a child on the way. I was betting everything on his conscience, betting that for the sake of this child, he would put his suicide on hold. A few seconds later, he turned back, his eyes wide with disbelief, trying to determine if I was telling the truth. He had a child? When did this happen? How did he not know? He studied my face, and a slow blush crept up his neck, turning him the color of a cooked lobster. He remembered the madness of that night. That bastard Marcus Thorne, trying to steal his fiancée, Olivia, had drugged his drink. And I, a hotel maid cleaning his suite, had become the antidote. He'd spent the entire night making the irreversible happen. When he woke up, I was gone, leaving only a single crimson stain on the sheets. It was his first time, and mine. If I was truly pregnant, there was a very real chance the child was his. He had a duty to sign that form. With a sigh, he realized this baby had come at the worst possible time, just when he was ready to end it all. But suicide would have to wait. The fate of the tiny infant inside me was more important than his own death. After all, his death was his business alone, but my child was tied to my future. He had already hurt me once. He couldn't bear to watch me face this alone. He stepped back from the ledge. "When is the procedure, and at which hospital?" "I'll sign the papers for you." The rumors were true. He really was a responsible man. My gamble had paid off. For the next 2 days, Owen meticulously arranged everything for my procedure. From choosing the best hospital and the most skilled doctor to planning my post-procedure recovery care, he handled every detail. He was so worried I wouldn't have enough money to recover properly after he was gone that he gave me a debit card with $100,000 on it, calling it compensation. On the day of the surgery, he personally supervised me for the 12 hours prior, making sure I didn't eat anything. He held my hand, told me not to be afraid, and assured me it was a minor procedure. He promised to wait outside until it was over. Then, he would go and die. After signing the consent form, he gave me a small wave,